she made her way, you know. She did what she had to do, and she made it through. I always worried about her. I mean, she's my best friend, but I always thought she'd make it through, and she was always fine before him.
How did you feel that night when you met him?
That night when I met him, I felt perfectly safe. He was young, he was nice, and good looking.
Would you ever have expected Philip to commit a crime like this?
Well, he was a well-esteemed man. He was about to get married. I mean, no one expected it. Maybe someone did, but I certainly didn't. Philip was the most well-rounded med student I've ever met. And we were study buddies, so I would know. I was completely taken aback when I heard he was in jail for armed robbery and murder.
Philip Markoff was in medical school when these crimes began. He was engaged to Mary and lived contentedly with his fiancée in an apartment off campus. But Markoff was a gambler. He was in debt at Foxwoods for several months before he opened up an account and started adding money into it. It appeared that the crimes were simply being committed for money, not power or sex. He chose the girls he did because they were vulnerable and high up in regards to finances. Nevertheless, Philip Markoff was said to have suffered from fractured identity disorder, a disorder in which you become disconnected from yourself. Because of how distant he'd separated himself from the pseudo-life, he really didn't feel like he could get into any trouble at all. With fractured identity disorder, it's not so much that your mind is taken over by another person, but more so that you physically become another person. It's all about the thrill of being someone totally unexpected, and Markoff suffered from this.
Why didn't you take any precautions to disguise your identity?
I didn't cover my face because I was just going to see these girls. I wasn't planning on killing anyone. I was just using the gun for self-defense in case someone attacked me. Plus, who were they going to tell anyway? They were shaming themselves, and no one would miss them.
Right after Tricia was attacked, she went to her neighbor and called security. She came down to the police station the next day to look through some photos. The surveillance photos matched that man which she had described. At that point, we were pretty sure he was the only suspect. Photo surveillance matched that which Tricia had described. At first, the footage wasn't sufficient enough to match with Markoff, but after several attacks and several series of surveillance photos, he was identified, and they searched his apartment. Due to the fact that Markoff took no precautions to cover his face or his hands, his fingerprints were all over the crime scene, as well as the gun in the apartment. The manner in which his crimes were committed remained consistent. He tied the girls up with plastic wrap and placed duct tape over their mouths. In addition to that, he stole their panties from them, despite the fact that he never actually attacked them sexually. His motive behind this crime was that he needed money because he gambled it away. Henceforth, with all of the combined evidence, Philip Markoff was convicted of being the Craigslist killer, despite pleading innocent.